Hey everybody, check it out. We're ready to start doing these. I got this, all these nice little packs here, ready for some Friday night Magic openings. I've been making some Magic content now on MTG Arena, just making some gameplay. And this is what really I love to do though. I really love the cards. And that's probably one of my favorite parts about Magic. So I want to definitely get into this channel. It's going to be called Titanovix. That's the name of my screen name on Arena. And I like to really put out different types of decks for you, and we can see what they look like, and also maybe talk about like the cards and the sets too as we go. But I'm really excited for Kaldheim. This set, it has a lot of expensive cards in this set. There's some $40 cards right now. We'll see how that holds. But we're really looking for the Vorinclex. I think that's a really nice card. And definitely want to put it into a deck I've made recently. A blue-green deck. So we're definitely looking for those cards. For Vorinclex, Valky, of course, is great. That'd be another extremely rare card to get. Goldspan Dragon is also a heavy hitter. I also kind of went back and got some throwback too. So I have Ikoria here. It's kind of the throwback. It's not that old, but considering there's a couple sets that have come after Ikoria now, including Zendikar also. So I picked up one of each of those, and the rest will be all Kaldheim. So let's get going. Let's just start with the Ikorias. And this is what got me back into Magic, was this set actually in particular was Ikoria. It happened during the pandemic time, and it was just sort of like I had a little more free time than I would usually because school was locked down. So this is something I definitely got back into, and I enjoyed watching and opening these packs. So let's just get started. We'll just... Sorry if the camera is not so centered. I'm just kind of doing this for the first time, so bear with me. All right, so man, I don't even remember picking up that common when it came out. I'll point out some of the cards that maybe see some play now in the standard zone. Not many cards really make it though. A few select cards from each set are pretty decent to play with competitive Magic. This was invented. This is began the mutate mechanic, and so what mutate is that you could play this card from your hand for usually a lesser cost. Sometimes it can be higher than the card's mana cost to play the actual card, but basically by mutating you receive all the abilities of the card without actually bringing the card down as a separate unit. So it kind of adds to other creatures. It's kind of a dangerous card because if you're playing against like a removal deck that plays a lot of removal, you can definitely get punished for that. But there's the Parcel Beast, and here's our rare Colossification. Doesn't see too much play. It's kind of an interesting card though for 7 mana. It's an aura, and your enchanted creature gets 20/20. So kind of an absurd card, but you don't really see too much of that card actually. And an island and a cat token. All right, so let's keep going. We're on to Zendikar now. Perfect. Yeah, I want to do like openings like this and posting gameplay, and also even like constructing decks in the paper form, collecting the cards in paper form and showing you out, basically spreading those cards out and showing you piece by piece my ideas for why I created the deck in a particular way. And also just sort of play test it, maybe do a little play testing, some shuffles to see how it shuffles and how it plays in real life, because a lot of our games are just played on the arena. So it's kind of interesting to see how the real shuffles are too. All right, Shell Shield. lots of cards in a set. If as you will play this game, you'll realize how many cards they put in a set. They really put a good amount in. In fact, this set has 280 different cards in it. So it does produce a lot of variation, and it really makes it harder to collect some of the cards that you're kind of more sought after. And that's why there's value to these certain different cards that you, especially ones that are important too for different types of decks. If you're not familiar with Magic, you have a common rarity. It's in the black symbol. And of course, as we move on, the silver symbol is uncommon. There's uncommon rarity. Gold symbol is rare, and the red symbol is a mythic card. Okay, so Lithiform Blight. It's the card might see some play in Yorion decks. Florahedron, definitely a decent ramp card. Also, the dynamic with this is you can also play it as a land, but it comes into play tapped. So it's an interesting card. It's kind of the allure to it. But that's just a ramp card. You see some food decks playing this deck. Perhaps maybe some Sultai Ultimatum decks might play this card too, just for extra ramp. And then we have our rare is Tabarax. Goes into clerics. It's a demon cleric. Sometimes see play with this card. I haven't really seen too much of it actually. Cleric decks in standard, but ooh, nice full art right there. Swamp. All right, moving on. All right, so this is the main event. We're here for the Kaldheim. So let's start this off. Let's pop some Kaldheim open. And this is right here. This is the Nico Eris. That's that character right there. But yeah, I started my Magic channel probably, I would say probably a month ago. And I've got a pretty good amount of views on some of the videos. I put gameplay out so far. And I post all my decks on AetherHub for people to view. And it's been a real blast to focus on Magic a little more and bring you this content. This card sees a lot of play. This is a very decent card. This is probably the best mana dork that's came out for a long time. This is the Jaspera Sentinel. And this has seen a lot of play in the Naya decks, like the green-white decks that involve the Clarion Spirit. And those basically feed off of being able to play 2 spells a turn. So this card is very decent for playing as a decent blocker for 1/2 and reach. And you may tap another untapped creature control and tap this card as well to add 1 mana of any color. So it's good for splash decks too. Fantastic card. It's kind of like a good complement to the the Golden Goose. So my opinion on this card is if you're playing a 2-color deck, for instance, like a Simic deck, like a green and blue, you're going to want 4 copies of this if you're ramping up. This is going to be your kind of de facto. You're probably going to move, unless you're playing food, you're going to be moving away from the goose. Not totally, but you're going to definitely be wanting to focus on this card. And definitely running more of these Sentinels and the Golden Gooses. However, if you're playing 3-color, like a 3-color ramp deck, I would probably go with the Goose. Just because you're not always going to have creatures to tap in the ramp deck. And you're gonna want to have the ability to with a Goose to basically sacrifice your food for 2 of those other colors if you're playing a 3-color deck. So for the Sentinel, you're definitely probably going to want to up this deck for in the two color decks, and also definitely have some copies in your 3-color green decks. For instance, maybe a teamer deck, a green, blue, and red deck, you're probably going to still want a couple copies, at least maybe 2, but you definitely want to play the goose in much more, have much more of a presence with the goose than that. So all in all, the Jaspera Sentinel is fantastic, and it's a common, but it sees lots of play. So we're going to put that off to the side there and keep on going here. Let's see what else. This is a open the Omen Paths. There's a janky deck that plays this card. I'd say it's on the janky side. It involves Mutate too, but a pretty cool card nonetheless. All right, let's keep going. Crush of the Week, not very familiar with this card. Haven't seen much play. Let's see. Crush of the Week deals 2 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile instead. So it's a sweeper. And you can foretell this card. That's a mechanic where you can play it from your hand for 2 and exile it, and it goes like this to the side. And then, depending on its speed, this is a sorcery card. You may pay 1 at a later time for its foretell cost. So if you don't have any plays, like say turn 2, you can just foretell it and play it for cheaper later on, cheaper cost. So yeah, don't really see too much of that card though. Red Control, don't really see too much of that. Gates of Itzfell. Okay, so this is like an uncommon land that has an effect. It comes in tapped, and it adds a plains in for 5 mana and a tap. Sacrifice Gates of Itzfell. You gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. So you might see 1 or 2 copies in like a Yorion Azorius pile playing this kind of card. Just give yourself some extra outs towards the end game. All right, so this is an uncommon card. You see this in sideboards a lot, like in the Wishboard, Weathered Runestone. What the Wishboard is like there's a card called Fae of Wishes that basically can bring any card from outside the game. You have 15 choices, and you might want to put this card in here. It shuts down a lot of graveyard decks, a lot of mono black decks that play cards from their graveyard. This card was going to shut it down. Pretty decent. And our rare here is Rally the Ranks, and you might see this in some weird sort of weenie decks, but it's not too bad, I guess. Don't really see too much of this, though. You have to be very tribal for this one. Creature type, creatures you control the chosen type get 1/1. So, don't see too much of that. And we got a Snow-Covered Plains, because this is the set theme is Snow-Covered Plains. So let's keep going. Oh, that was a good hit. I know it's a common, but it's still a good hit. All right, we are going to go to the set booster. So this is a Kaldheim set booster. You can get like up to 3 rares, 3 mythics, or interchangeable. I think they're definitely guaranteed a rare and a foil. And they also have the cards from later set, plus you get these pretty cool like arts right here. So this is Tigrid right here. Pretty awesome. All right. So yeah, the set boosters are super cool. Scoot this over just a little bit here. Saw it coming. Yeah, this has definitely been seen like as another counter spell to add to the blue possibilities. You're able to foretell it too. So it's been seen in some play, I'd say. I definitely see this counter spell coming up sometimes. Some people are hot on it. I think people in standard are more hot on it. People who play historic, there's much better options for counter spells. So this might not be their like default choice, but it's not that bad. All right, let's keep going. Vega the Watcher. Don't really see too much of that being played. Gates of Itzfell. And so we're in our set booster. We're getting a bunch of uncommons. It's kind of cool. We got like, what do you have? Like 3 uncommons in this deck, in this pack. So that's really cool. Get a bunch of uncommons. Nico Defies Destiny. Let's read this saga. I'm kind of curious. So I don't always look through all the cards from the set, and I haven't really seen too much about this. So you gain 2 life for each Foretold card you own in exile. And then, by the way, I didn't mention that Saw It Coming is a Foretell card, like we were talking about earlier. So Saw It Coming is a spell you can foretell it for 2, and then play it for 2 later. So it's not really, you don't really get the best deal with it, but it's not too bad. So Nico Defies Destiny Saga, the second chapter, which starts on the following turn that it's been casted. Add planes and islands. Spend this mana only to foretell cards or cast spells that have foretell. Okay. And then return target card with foretell from your graveyard to your hand. Well, I guess if you could like time it right and you wanted like a lot of Alron's Epiphanies, that might be where you want to return the foretell card. That's a pretty decent foretell card. Maybe if we get it, we can talk about it. But it just basically gives you an extra turn. And here's the Draugr Necromancer. It's definitely been seeing some play here. Some cool snow decks involve this card. Definitely. Draugr Necromancer. So look at this. We already have 2 rares in this deck. So probably we're already seeing it like this was a really good deal, right? It's kind of an interesting card. It's high mana cost, kind of discourages its play. And we got a foil Battlefield Wrapper, so 2 rares, not bad. So we'll put those here with a Sentinel. All right. So right now, the deck that I'm going to be doing some live play on next, I'm going to be, I'm not really sure. I think I want to either do my Simic deck that I've been working on, which is a Henge deck. I have 2 Henge decks that I want to show off. One that involves some newer cards like Toski and Vorinclex. And then another one which involves the Goldspan Dragon. They're both Henge decks. What I mean by that is they revolve around the card the Great Henge. And they're very solid decks. And I think I'm gonna probably go with the Goldspan deck because the Goldspan Henge, which it only plays 2 copies, but it's definitely probably kind of gonna be interesting to see it. They both play Vorinclex too. But it might be a little more interesting to play the Goldspan deck. Kind of interested to see how it goes. And if we get a Goldspan Dragon, that would just be so awesome. So let's see. See a little bit of play. This card. When it comes down to the battlefield, the opponent discards a card. In Commander, it's kind of even great, right? You get some enemies though. Each opponent discards a card. Kind of interesting. 2 mana there, 1/1. Let's keep going. Dusk Welder is a Berserker. Berserkers are strong. They have definitely a good presence in Kaldheim. I love the Blood Sky Berserker. I have a couple decks that I've made revolving around that card. It's definitely in my top 5, maybe all-time cards. Oh, this gets a lot of play in the snow decks, the Frost Augur. So it's a 1-drop, 1/2. And by playing one snow and tapping it, you get to look at the top card of your library, and if it's a snow card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. I think this could really go well with the Azoria Snow. I really think that could be a good combination. There's a lot of good snow cards that involve those colors. That it seems it's a possibility. There is a card called Search for Greatness. I'm not sure if it's a snow card though. If it's a snow sorcery, I think that could definitely be something to combo with this. So let's keep rocking and rolling here. Ruinous Speed, that's a thing now too. There's the runes. Rune decks. There's a couple good rune decks I've seen. They involving dwarves. You know, the dwarf tribal with runes. And this is a great hit. We got a Bark Channel Pathway. This is perfect for the Simic deck and the Teamer deck that I'm building right now. I need these. These are great. You have the option to play this as an island or a forest. You get 4 of these in a deck. Maximum, because they're so strong. They give you the option to play as a forest or an island. Fantastic. Great hit. Super stoked about the pathway. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. All right, let's do it. I actually got a whole set booster box not too long ago, and I had pretty bad results, actually. Didn't really have the greatest results. Okay, this looks like kind of a similar cup. All right, Poison Cup, I've seen that in a couple decks. Kind of a interesting card. It's like an alternative for like a Heartless Act. You get to foretell for 2 and then play for 2 at a later turn. And if you play it from your foretell, you get to scry with it. So some control decks might like that. Maybe even rogues. Sometimes you see it in rogues. This is a great card. This is Gravenlore. This is probably like the epitome of snow power. This is, some people even play snow just so they can have this in their deck. It's a really strong draw card. So the amount of snow that you spend on this allows you to scry that many cards, meaning you get to look at them. So if you spend 5 snow cards, snow lands to play this, you'd be able to look at the top 5 of your cards, choose 3 of those, put them in your hand, and then you can put those other 2 in the order you like. You could put them on the bottom of your deck, or you can leave them on the top of your deck and put them in a certain order. So very strong card. Really nice. And some snow. So this has been really good so far. We are having a good time with these set boosters. And our draft boosters. We're having a good old time. All right. So when I was younger, I loved like the angel deck. I started to build an angel deck. I really liked the angel theme. And of course, I grew up and kind of grew out of Magic, but I was always really into like the mono black theme, and I really liked the angels. So it's really cool to still see these cards are being made. Just really excited to still be involved in this game and enjoy it and play it all the time when I want to. Definitely privileged to do that. All right, we're not really seeing too much popping out at us yet. Got something in the back. I think that was just our cool full art card. Skemfar, Shadow Sage, and Elf. So it looks like we're getting some elves now. We're on the elf theme. Another Gravenlore. I cannot believe it. Wow. That's 2 Gravenlores. That's great. I don't know like if it has too much value, but it's still like a very played card in Standard right now. So that's cool. And we got another foil here. Grim Draugr. Okay, cool. Alright, what do we got here? I think we've pretty much opened up most of the packs. We'll be coming to the close of this video. Let's see here, we got 2 set boosters. Yeah, that will be it. I appreciate you watching this video. Sticking with me, you have. I plan on definitely starting like a Twitch over the summer. I am a grade school teacher, so over the summer I have more free time and definitely have more time to spend on Magic and bringing some more content and some live content. Sounds like a fun idea to me. Lots of gameplay. That's what I want to focus on if I do the Twitch, of course, is the live gameplay. Definitely. We'll see how far we can go on the ladder. I'm sure we'll definitely be getting into a position. All right, cool. Another Sentinel. Sweet. I like those. Glad we're picking those up. Still looking for like a Vorinclex. Would be fantastic. Or a Goldspan Dragon. Any mythic at this point. I don't think we picked up a mythic yet. So we're looking for like maybe a mythic, hopefully. Okay, we got Bergie. People are experimenting with this card. So whenever you cast a spell, add a mountain. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns rather than once. Interesting. Okay, so that's Bergie. Is there a backside? What is it on the backside? Okay, so she's also this effect. Harnfell, Horn of the Bounty. Discard a card. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Interesting. Okay, so it's basically like a discard to draw 2. And you have to play them your turn. Maybe good for some grindy decks, but I haven't really seen too much of this card. Mono red doesn't really run out of... It really doesn't have to go too into the mid game. It usually just either wins in like, I would say turn 4 to 6 to 7 4. Turn 4 to turn 7 doesn't usually need to draw cards past that point. And if it does, it usually loses. So not really too hot. But there are some people trying to make something out of that. I've seen a couple different builds. Blizzard Brawl, I see this card definitely getting some play. It's a good snow sorcery card. It is like an alternative to like Primal Might. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, that creature you control gets 1/0 and gains indestructible. Nice. Nice, definitely a decent card. Blizzard Brawl. Cool, keep on that one. And then we got the elf foiled out. Not bad. Cool. We got a couple foils in that. Snow-covered forest. It's beautiful. Okay. All right. So far the highlight of this, probably this, the Gravenlores and the Pathways. It's been pretty sweet. Nothing too great though. Nothing too hot. Yeah. Forgot what we had picked up for our Zendikar rare. I don't know if it was any. He's at Rally the Ranks. Yeah. Didn't really get too much action. All right, let's do it. We are coming in the end. This is it. Yeah, you can get like a couple rares in these set boosters. They're really good. You pretty much picked up most of those, but I wanted to get a little variety. We've got Ikoria and some Zendikar in there, and a couple of the Kaldheim draft boosters. Just the regular draft boosters, but definitely these set boosters are really nice. Ooh, Coma. Nice. All right, let's see. We got the snow lands here, the dual lands. They come in tapped. The benefit is that they're snow. If you're playing snow, there's benefits to playing it. And there's some cards that are turning off snow, like Radon. He's a white card that sort of punishes people who play the snow cards. All right. It's kind of cool. You always get a foil with these Kaldheim cards. Getting that card a lot. Ooh, Cosmos Elixir. That's a rare. I love this card. Put that on my mono white control deck. It's just a beast. Oh, I love that deck. I love this card too. So good. Cosmos Elixir. That's a sweet card. All right, what else do we get? Fijara. That's a crazy art card right there. The Icespine Pillar. Very nice foil. Okay. And I think that's it. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. And definitely be getting more content. And I'll see you on the arena. All right, adios.